welcome back, board members. Thank you so much for stopping by the boardroom with the chatty chairwoman to get the recap on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Read it and weep. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm still at the reunion. They are still talking about the photo that Marsau posted to social media, trying to drag Maurice into his mess. But I mean, they were all there. Maurice should have just came clean, but it's dragging on and on. There has to be so much more to talk about than this social media post, right? We can see more of Kimmy and Maurice's lives, Tiffany and Lewis's lives. You know, they're the secret couple. They don't divulge anything. We can see more of where Melody is doing like daily with the kids, dropping them off or whatever that looks like for her now. More of her and real friends. And it would be more interesting than talking about this photo, correct? And Lewis. And let me tell you, the editing is so shady because even the dog looks bored with their conversation. The editor cuts away and shows the dog sitting on the sofa like, oh gosh, they're so boring. So we have this moment where Tiffany and Lewis are talking and she's sharing that Kimmy and her made up kind of, and that they put all the cards on the table, and that she believes Kimmy that they no longer have an issue. Because remember, Kimmy revealed at the reunion that Tiffany was fired from the chamber. And then fast forward at the pajama party, Tiffany approached Kimmy and asked her, are they good? Was there anything else that she can share with her so they could be in a better place? And then Stormy jumped in to kind of continue the shade about she was fired from the chamber. Anyway, and I'm curious because Tiffany says she's been in business for 5 years, but we don't even know what her business is. It's weird. Her and Lewis share nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. That's not true. We did see their backyard. But outside of that, we know nothing about them. They always look like they're in a daze and they're very careful and calculated about what they want to share, which we all know is not going to fly in reality TV. Kind of reminds us of Ascala and her husband on The Real Housewives of Potomac. It simply does not work. The only way you're going to really become a player is you got to reveal the truth and reveal your life. And hey, you knew that when you signed up for it, but being boring and keeping it close to the vest is not going to work. It's not going to make you interesting, and you're not going to last. Because I know for Carlos King, you got to bring it to stay there. Anyway, keep moving on. So they continue to talk, and Tiffany kind of shades Marsau because she says she remembers him when they used to work together or at their old job. So I guess she's trying to insinuate he's acting brand new, like he doesn't really know them on that level, like he just met them, he was just introduced to them. But she clearly said, hey, I remember when, dude. I remember, and even Lewis confirmed, I remember you back when. So don't act like you're all that now. But clearly that's the way Marsau wants to keep it. So I must say I really like this episode from Martell in 2 reasons. Because it shows that he's trying to rebrand himself. I know the calendar is one thing, but I don't think people buy calendars anymore. But he's trying to do something that will help him take care of his children and build his own identity, which I think is fantastic. I'm going to give him credit for that. But he went over to his mom and she tasted the wine. And for me, I think she feeds into his ego. Not one moment did she kind of remind him of his responsibility, his role, how he needs to build his relationship with his children and rebuild some sort of co-parenting relationship with Melody. No, she kind of rubber stamped what he did. I'm not going to say rubber stamp, but she kind of said, okay, you made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, but she still didn't check him as I think a mother should have, because he really did bring down a family. And he really did put those children in a whole dynamic that they didn't deserve. Going from house to house every other weekend, having a new baby there, that's a lot for children to process. So I don't think she called him on it. And who knows, maybe she checked him behind the scenes. But I don't think so. I think for Martell, his mom is his safe place, which she should be. But she also should be an accountability check for him as well. Especially since it's he really destroyed a family. So I didn't like that part of it. She didn't mention the kids. She didn't mention the importance of him really putting in the time and building that relationship. So we go on to Marsau and Tisha, and I said it in the last recap that I thought when I heard that Marsau went to Africa without his family, that was a red flag. So we see them talking, and he continues to bring this profound opinion about what? About how he learned over there. It's about spending time with family and not about money. It's about generational wealth. It's really about relationships with family. Absolutely agree. But I still believe, does he think that Tisha is that naive that he could just fluff her with stuff? And you notice that she was still talking about Africa and when they are going. She will not let up, and I don't blame her. They need to go as a family. The mere fact that he got away with going by himself makes no sense to me. Okay, and I'm sure you guys agree. Not gonna happen. If the whole family couldn't go, he should not have gone. I will always look at him side-eye for that trip. So for her, she's stuck on that trip about, can you show us when we go this place and that place? What are you, 2 years old? And I must say, Tisha looks beautiful this season. She's killing it. She looks amazing. But she always looks great. She's always been stylish. But I think this season, she is the best. Out of all of the ladies, she is, like me say, she is the most consistent. I mean, even her confessionals to her look, and I guess she's helping Miss Wanda too, because Miss Wanda's confessionals look great too. So kudos to her, and I love that, because when people come attacking you, the key is to what? Always look great. No matter what the situation in work, we all know in the boardroom or in the neighborhood, you always want to look pulled together. So kudos to Tisha. Smart move, very smart move. So she kind of, in a roundabout way, asked Marsau about the apartment. I think in the last episode, when her mom brought it up and asked her, did Mark ask Marsau, did he have an apartment with Martell? I honestly believe Tisha told her to ask that question. I believe that she used her mom to get to the bottom of it, because she is afraid to ask him, or she doesn't want him to believe that she doesn't trust him. Because Tisha was so calm, as you remember in the last episode, while her mom drilled him on that question. And then she brings it back in a very slick way to see if she can get an answer out of him. And of course he said, well, somebody would have seen my car if that was the case. He's a smart addict. He's a smart mouth. He knew exactly what he was doing when he married Tisha, because he would never jail with somebody like a Kimmy. Kimmy is real. Kimmy is smart. Kimmy is analytical. So he knew what kind of personality he had to pick for what he wanted to be, which is a sly fox, right? So Tisha is the one. So, we go on, and Kimmy and Maurice are going on their honeymoon. After 3 years of marriage, they're finally getting around to going on their honeymoon. And I'm not mad at them, because I like their relationship. And the fact that he graduated from law school, and they're doing, what does she do? Real estate, and she's a nurse, and he is doing work with Marsau. Absolutely understand it. So, if it doesn't matter, at least the marriage lasts for 3 years. I thought that was a non-factor. I thought it was a pretty boring scene. But once again, I say there's no real storyline this season. It's that whole photo thing, which is kind of old and kind of boring. So they're going to have to do a little bit more. I think it's starting to get more interesting on the next episode. And then we move on to the book signing. So this is my second point with Martell. I thought it was a great idea for him to make the children authors. I think that was a great piece of work. I love his manager, because it's bringing him some depth, and it shows that he's invested in the children. But when he scheduled it, when he knew it was Mel's weekend, I do not believe that Mel was at fault, because he ruined the marriage. She will never do him a favor ever again. She will never accommodate him ever again. She will never go out of her way for him ever again. So he tried her. And he thought it would be an opportunity for her to look bad on television. But it backfired. Nobody has sympathy for Martell. Martell has years and years of proving himself to Mel before she will do him a favor. People think because there's a court agreement that things are going to go well, but it's not going to go well. So even one of the people on the show said, "What? Welcome to divorce." People think that, he thought the fun was worth it, right? But what do they say? Freedom is not free. There is a cost, and unfortunately, the children are paying. So and on the flip side, Mel kind of took it too far. She's packing. She said she wasn't aware. She has to go visit her family. I think that people believe they're going to do what they want to do. But in the end, the children absorb all of the tension. They probably were aware of the book signing, and they're going to have to process this. Add to the fact that this is happening in real life on television. It'll be interesting to see how these children maneuver as adults. Because I don't recall a reality show where the children were so impacted like Love and Marriage Huntsville. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just trying to, when I do a brief review of all of the shows I've ever watched. First of all, I don't think the children have been that young. Oh, well, that's not true. Phaedra and Apollo of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the boys were very young. That's different, but Phaedra did an excellent job of keeping them out of the limelight, and she left the show, well, we all know why. But for these children, I guess it's the same scenario. It really is. They both had devastating experiences on reality TV. The beautiful thing is that Phaedra's sons are no longer a part of reality TV, so they're allowed to grow up as normal children without the limelight. But these children are still in the limelight. In fact, their parents are the stars. So they're going to be in the limelight until this show goes off the air. What a price to pay. What an incredible price to pay for those young children and to process it all. And it just seems so unfair. So hopefully the children are protected more, not on television at all, so that they can have a normal life without all of the TV exposure. And hopefully we'll see at some point where Mel and Martell are actually communicating and co-parenting. That's probably about 3, 4, 5 seasons away. We all know that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't know. But remember what I said. Mel knows a lot more than she has revealed. Mel has an agenda on this show. And all of the couples better watch out. I said it, I keep saying it, but they better watch out. The Mel from season 1 is no more. This is a whole new Mel. So they all better watch out. And I cannot wait to see the next episode when Tisha confronts her cousin. Oh my gosh. That's good stuff. Now that's authentic, organic TV. Talking about the social media posts, I think you guys would agree. We're done with it. We don't want to see it anymore. It's boring. Oh my goodness. But we will see what happens next. That's going to be something else. The ultimate betrayal, right? A family member coming on television to throw dirt. Woo, or to uncover or to answer the questions about your marriage that you and your husband will not answer. Now that's some low down stuff right there. That's low down. And clearly they sought Kiki out and brought her on that show. And you know what? She looks very motivated to share. Won't you agree? She looks very motivated, unfortunately. So who needs enemies when you have family willing to throw you under the bus? Oh my gosh. So that's all. As you can see, I'm still losing my voice. So thank you for stopping by the boardroom, board members. This is the Chatty Chairwoman with another Love and Marriage Huntsville. What does it say? Read it and weep. I'm wondering, you think Martell had a moment of regret sitting at that book signing? Did he say, man, I screwed this up? Because for half a second, I felt sorry for him. I'm just curious. Put it in the comments. What do you think? Because half a second, I felt sorry for him. And I just came to my senses. What do you think? So please, before you exit, take a moment and hit the like button. Before you exit, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. And we'll be back next week with another review. Bye-bye.